Well, good evening, Facebook friends. Um, kind of, and the screen's not blue. My sister fussed at me. She didn't like the blue screen last night. And welcome, by the way, Deb, my sister, Deborah, Debbie, whatever y'all know about. To me, she's Debbie. But anyway, she actually joined the Facebook family today. So welcome. But I wanted to, last night it was Arthur Bruton that had an impact on that I wanted to acknowledge. Tonight it's actually a lady, a godly lady, Jenese Miller. Jenese I met, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. I remember the name, I just don't really remember the circumstances. And she had contacted me on Facebook. She actually was a friend of a friend and saw the name, recognized it, and contacted me. And we were talking, and it was within no time at all. And I don't know if I read it on her Facebook postings or if she told me. But her and her husband had three daughters, and a drunk driver crashed into her daughter's car and killed her daughter instantly, left behind a husband and beautiful child. But 3 months later, after that, her father passed away. She was really close to him. There was other issues that over and beyond those circumstances that just devastated the family, just emotionally just ruined them. And both Jenese and Dale both were going through the same valley. I mean, their daughter. But God brought us together. Now, he obviously had to have brought us together back when I was 13 or 14 years old. For that to have materialized to what it did in 3 years ago. And I told her, I've never lost anybody close to me. I have no understanding. I don't pretend to understand it. I don't want to imagine the feelings that I would go through if I lost my own daughter. Just the thought of it upsets me. But what God allowed me to do, anybody that knows me, I'm a cut up. God blessed me with a good sense of humor. I read people well. And when I would converse with Jenese, I was going through this transition period during the last 5 years. And what God would allow me to do is I dealt with her just like I would talk to anybody else. What I was going through, the good, the bad, the shockingly ugly at times. And I would have her to and would ask her to pray for me, that God would direct me. I didn't really know at the time just what I was after. But I knew there was something. There was an answer I was searching for. And she would pray. Well, the last time was this past December, Christmas Day. And I had something that I was just so heavily burdened for that I'll be honest with you, I was finding it hard to even express it in prayer. My heart was just ripped out. And I called I called two people and one God. I called Jenese, I called my dad, and I called on God personally. But I texted Jenese Christmas morning, and I told her, I said, I have something I need you to pray about. I won't tell you what it is right now. I just need you to pray. Within 2 to 3 minutes, and probably less than that, I got a text back from Jenese, and she said, George, I'm getting on my knees now to pray. And I thanked her and went on about my business, and Dad did the same thing. I told her a couple of days later, what we were praying about. But the amazing thing was, to me, God had laid on her heart. She said about 2 or 3 days before I had called her, she said she was, I guess, having devotions, whatever. But God, she said, just put a burden for me in her heart so heavy. She'd already been praying for me. Didn't even know I needed it. I didn't even know I needed it at the time. But he did. And everything, I had a time frame in mind that to me a certain time, literally certain time on a certain day that I wanted my answer. And when that time came and I pushed it a little bit, um, and the way that things transpired, I accepted that the answer was that. I was wrong. 12 hours almost within minutes. 12 hours of when I thought I was going to get my answer, God gave me the answer. The thing was, the 12-hour lapse made his answer perfect because of what transpired during those 12 hours. What I've come to realize over the last several weeks is the prayer he answered was not the prayer I was praying. Now, I had that answer, but that wasn't what that wasn't why it happened the way that it did. There was a rift between me and several other people that started about 5 years ago. One individual I had not talked to more than 2 or 3 minutes, and I felt like I was in a situation where I had to talk to him. And in 5 years, there's just been no conversation. And this was a person that I had been extremely close to most of my whole life. Thanksgiving Day, I made a phone call to him, and that individual picked up the telephone. We weren't even supposed to be in town. They picked up the phone, and I ended up talking to him. And I noticed when I was talking to him, the animosity was gone. I didn't feel the same feelings that I had felt that brought me to the point of severing the relationship. So the healing had started in my heart as well as in theirs. And then through the Christmas holidays and what transpired with the situation that we were praying about, the conversation between myself and this person got to be daily. There was the wound. I had no idea how deep the wound had gone. I thought I knew, but I really didn't. And God used the situation that I was so upset about. He used that situation to give me really the answer that I needed. The healing that needed to be taking place with my loved ones. Which, quite honestly, is by far more important than what I was praying about originally. But people are brought into our lives, and that, you've seen the little posting. I think I may have even posted it before. For blessings or lessons. With Jenese, you were both. God blessed me by letting you and Dale cross my path. I was blessed by your amazing devotion to God, and by Dale's. I was amazed by your writing, and I still think you need to share those with people. I have been absolutely sustained by your faith in God. It's been an inspiration to me. I can look at you and see that no matter how dark and enclosed our life is, what you have shown me that is if we look up and forward, that we will go through the valley. And Jenese, you're not through, and I know that. And Dale, I mean, it's a journey that you probably never will complete. But he's brought you through to get you where you are now. And I know we never know how strong we can be until we have to be that strong. But it's not us; it's Christ in us that makes us that strong. And your faith and your godliness and your ability to, in my mind, to reach out and grab the heart of God is amazing. And I want you to know that the lesson and the blessing that you've given me in my life, I greatly appreciate, and I love you for it. And I appreciate everything that you and Dale have done. Dale mostly by just letting you spend time and prayer time with me. You are an inspiration. We love you. And I know that that's probably something that you get tired of hearing from your friends because you are just such a precious person. But God bless you. My Facebook friends that will eventually maybe hear this, I don't know. They're kind of long, and I'm doing them to an individual more than I am to everybody else anyway. I just want the world to know how godly and how helpful people have been in helping me find my way through this journey. There are still paths that I've got to go down, that I need prayers, I need help. But it's a good God, and He's getting us there. So everybody try to stay warm tonight. It's going to be cold, and good night.